any other thing except for how long it takes you to file a patent. Fun.
Pretty much.
Other than that, it's fake and doesn't exist.
No, it's fake as hell. Just made up. It's a work, Pasty. It's a work.
Well, WWE is lazy in filing their patents. Cody filed for the trademark the day it expired. Cody commented about WWE trademarking the name, saying, "It's not as sultry, scandalous as reported. It's just business. They've seen the same data we have, and they know they can make big money off the brand, even though it's not in their house. Trying to license me is flattering, but it doesn't stop this train from moving. No grudge." That's right. We bought the ring round here. No grudge. Woo. 7 days.
I watched It Follows the other day. It was really good.
Yeah, did you follow it with it? Like
I didn't, but I seen your post. That was fun. Moving on, we got some goings, Pasty.
Yes, everybody's going. Nobody's coming because there's no place to come to in a COVID-19 wrestling wasteland.
We'll see, but for now, Dave Meltzer's reporting that Rey Mysterio's contract has expired, and he has been working on his recent storyline with Seth Rollins without an official WWE contract. Mysterio has been in a months-long feud with Rollins that has also involved his son Dominic, who has been an ongoing fixture on WWE television despite not working through the PC, or the Performance Center, or even NXT. Allegedly, Mysterio had recently asked for a raise. We've heard this story before. And Vince McMahon responded by saying it was a pretty bad time to ask for a fucking raise and pointed out that he's firing people.
I just gave myself a 30% raise last week, pal. It's just not in the budget.
Exactly. It's unclear if Mysterio plans on exploring his options beyond WWE, if he's going to sign a new contract, or if the two sides will continue working on just a, quote, handshake agreement for the time because of the COVID-19 pandemic and all the unstableness that comes with it. Regardless, it is odd, if this is true, for WWE to give Mysterio such a prominent place on the card without any formal agreement in place. So keep in mind, he may already be under contract, and Uncle Davey may have it wrong this time. Yet again. I
haven't got to hit that Meltzer alert button in a while.
Oh, you might have to do it, buddy.
Feels good. So, you see, he's doing this supposedly contractless feud with Rollins right now, and he's trying to get his kid a deal. And then part of my brain wants to say he ends up not re-signing. WWE has his son sign, has him turn on his dad to join Seth Rollins, beats down Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio disappears from WWE. Rollins and his squad go forward, but his kid's never good enough, and Rollins keeps putting him down about it. Like, you gotta get better, kid. Something, Because if Mysterio doesn't stay, they're going to destroy his son in the most grand way possible.
Oh, for sure. He's never going to make it.
Yeah. And having him turn on his father to join Rollins' faction, that honestly, even if Rey Mysterio does stay, that just makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. I do think Mysterio is going to stay, and I think it's mainly for his son Dominic, and I don't think that's a bad choice as far as professionally, business-wise.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. Obviously Mysterio's in-ring best days are behind him.
Yeah, quite a far ways.
He offers a lot behind the stage, and he offers a lot with, I guess, his son.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, and if he stays, I want to see somebody rip the mask off him, and then he wrestles the rest of his career without it. That's my other request for if anything else happens.
Mysterio?
Yeah, because his kid ain't gonna wear a mask. You know what I mean?
Oh, we already seen him without the mask, and it was like, okay.
But I don't know. He could do his last little run without the mask. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just the thing that goes through my brain, and I have to say it.
There you go.
Yes. Tuesday, WWE announced the appointment of Christina Salen as Chief Financial Officer, reporting directly to WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon, effective August 3rd, 2020. Frank A. Riddick III had been filling the position of interim Chief Financial Officer since January, while the company searched for a permanent CFO following the departures of co-presidents George Barrios and Michelle Wilson. They're so famous, I don't forget their name anymore. It's really sad.
I know. We've gone over this all time and time again. There were nobodies who now like, we just...
I feel like they're part of my family.
They're up there with Mark Calloway, Dwayne
Seaman
Johnson.
Canyon.
Yeah.
Seaman Canyon.
Yeah.
Legendary.
They're up there with Seaman Canyon. That's about as... You can't get bigger than Seaman Canyon.
Hulk Hogan can't even hold a candle to Seaman Canyon.
Well, maybe Hulk Hogan, but not Terry Bollea. We've gone over this in court. Come on. I'm sorry.
I love it.
I do love it.
WWE is also planning to appoint a permanent chief revenue officer. Salen served as the first CFO of Etsy, where she grew the business from $895 million in gross sales to $3 billion in 4 years. And we've all seen the prices on Etsy. We know the fuck why.
Exactly.
And executed the company's IPO offering.
Yeah. I mean,
just want to know about the IPA offering, really. That's what I'm interested in anytime I join a company.
The IPO offering?
IPA.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, that's even better.
Right.
I want to know what your India Pale Ale is. She obviously, she knows how to sell things. It shows you where WWE's mind is. You look at WWE and you look at AEW, and obviously they're the two best to compare. And they just hired Etsy's chief financial officer to run their chief revenue officer. Yeah. It's the same position, but she's the one that's making money for the company. She's the one selling the company. It's Etsy.
Yeah.
And you look over at AEW, and it's sports branded. And it just shows you that they're two completely different companies. Now, I'm not saying one's wrong or right, but I'm saying there is a clear difference on the business proposal side of it.
All I gotta say is with the CFO of Etsy, you got to expect the WWE Network price is going to increase in the next 3 years a couple of times.
And you might have to knit some shit just to fucking get it.
Yeah.
You might have to learn to knit to watch the WWE Network because Etsy has a lot of knitting, a lot of hot glue gunning, a lot of crafty shit. We're gonna see a Hell in a Cell made from toothpicks and hot glue.
Pipe cleaners.
Some pipe cleaners up in there.
Decorative rock. Oh,
forget the glitter. Woo. Okay, I think we're moving on. Yes. Major League Wrestling has granted the release of Savage El Sabah. He tweeted on July 4th of all days, I have asked for and have been given my release from MLW. Happy Independence Day. Sabah signed with MLW in 2018 and joined Injustice with Myron Reed and Jordan Oliver. Al Sabah reportedly left MLW over Chief Operating Officer Jared St. Laurent. Sorry. I screwed that name up 3 times. Officer Jared St. Laurent's, thank you, relationship with Team Vision Dojo. Now, Team Vision Dojo is a Florida-based wrestling school ran by Chasen Rance, who is a legally registered sex offender. So, understandably, why he'd want to separate himself. And I wish and I hope that MLW will separate themselves from this whole Team Vision Dojo. I hope they fucking do, because if they don't, it's a big black eye on their whole promotion.
Yeah, definitely. Now's the time to take a stand, and they should have definitely took that stand before they lost talent over it.
Yeah, and it's one thing to be
him his release. You know what I mean? So they're like, yeah, we're okay with that sex offender.
Yeah, it's one thing to be accused of something, but when you've actually had to register, that means you've gone through a trial and everything. That's not saying you're guilty, but that's saying you have been found guilty by a trial of your peers.
What's MLW going to do if the rest of Injustice walks? Because I could see that to follow suit. Maybe they all requested it at the same time.
Injustice is huge. Injustice is a huge part of their brand. I hope they're just smart enough. I hope Court Bauer is smart enough to just distance himself from this shit, because it's a no-brainer and it's stupid.
Very much so. According to PW Insider, Bully Ray is reportedly done with Ring of Honor as his contract with the promotion expired on April 1st. The two sides had planned out and agreed upon his exit, as he was originally expected to say through Supercard of Honor over WrestleMania 36 weekend to close out his story with Maria Manic. Obviously, that along with numerous other shows were canceled due to COVID-19. The report continued that there's no heat between Ray and Ring of Honor, but rather just a realization that he'd done all he could do there at the time. He debuted back in early 2017 at Manhattan Mayhem 6 and was an on-screen character as well as a backstage coach for their women's division until January of this year, when Jonathan Gresham replaced him.
That's a great mind that's going to be missed over in Ring of Honor.
It is, but at the same time, just last week we were talking about a potential Aces and Eights reboot, and that would be totally incomplete without Bully Ray, right?
That could be. I mean, that's Aces and Eights is what got Bully Ray into single stardom.
Yeah.
Say what you want to about TNA, say what you want to about the Aces and Eights storyline, which, by the way, I think is one of the greatest storylines in pro wrestling, and many people disagree with me, and fuck you, I guess. But that created Bully Ray, the single star,
It's the reason he himself, by himself, is a household name for most wrestling fans these days.
Yeah, Devon Dudley is not Bully Ray Dudley.
No.
So, I could definitely see him moving to Impact. Impact has seen what's happened in the wrestling world, and they seem to be making like backstage moves. Like, they're saving money, they're making backstage moves, they're doing these things so that they can, like, I feel like they're waiting until the pandemic's over and they're just gonna fucking pop or something.
They're so smart. Canadians are geniuses, and they know that AEW has a huge chance, or at least a solid chance, of crumbling under its own weight in the next handful of years. They want to be ready to get that leg up to climb back to being WWE's main rival.
It's crazy, but it's I mean Bully Ray will do great anywhere he goes.
Yeah.
You know, if he could go to WWE, be a backstage talent, that might be the best thing for him
do Bully Ray there, because Bully Ray with their Be a Star thing, it could play off of it so well, and he could lose a lot, and it would work. For
sure. They really, just because it wasn't their creation,
yeah,
they gave up on making money. Literally.
Well, just like Broken Matt or Woken Matt, they could have ran with that as far as Matt wanted to, and they gave him one shot. Vince is like, nobody's going to like this, and then people liked it. He's like, oh, I guess they liked it. We're still done.
Yeah. It's sad.
It is. It pains me. But good ups for Bully